Acoustic exfiltration with CW in Linux. What does that mean? We are sending and receiving Morse code with our computer's sound card, this time on Hak5.
Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
My name's Shannon Morse.
It's your weekly dose of technolust.
Welcome! We are finished with our DerbyCon episodes.
I'm very excited about this. We had a fantastic time at DerbyCon. If you get the opportunity, you definitely need to hit up that conference. So much fun and lots of really cool things to do there outside of just going to talks and parties.
Yeah, definitely.
Including Shannon, I heard that you...
I got my ham license.
Hooray! Congrats!
My amateur radio license, I guess I should say, from the FCC. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, and it was kind of hard because I didn't study, so I did fail the first time. But I can tell you right now, just take it again and you might just pass. So that's what I did. I took it again and then I tried for general and I did really good on the general test, but I didn't pass it.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just take that next time.
Well, hey, you got something to work up to, and I'm not buying any of this like I didn't study. So you should have seen her on the plane. And a shout out to Joel for hooking you up with the book.
Oh yes, absolutely. Right? That book was amazing. So my call sign now is KM6FPP. I might go for a vanity one. 73, woot! And yes, I am very aware that the address is publicly available. That's why it's the same place you can send stickers to.
Yay! Well, how about that? Come on,
it's awful creepy how many people
stickers.
Looked it up though and like texted me on Twitter and they were like, your address is public now.
They're just trying to be helpful.
And I was like, dude.
They're trying to be helpful.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah. So everybody's looking out for you, and we're all really excited that you're licensed.
Thank you. Yes, me too. And I am friends with cops. Just FYI.
This means that we're able to do really cool new things. Like we've done a lot with software-defined radio in the past, and we've typically done the unlicensed spectrum, things like 433 megahertz or 900 megahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. And that's fun because we can transmit there. But now you have the ability to transmit on frequency that I can't.
I do, yeah. And well, before we really get into learning how to transmit and stuff like that, I am so new to this. I've done software-defined radio, of course, but this is a brand new territory for me. So I know that we have ham licensed radio operators out there that watch this show. So if you guys have any recommendations for places that I can learn more stuff or specific radios that I should get into, definitely how-to tutorials, guidelines and things like that. Definitely send them my way because I want to learn all the things.
Right. In fact, I even hear that you're flashing firmware on radios now.
Oh yeah, I got a little UV5R. I know that it's a piece of crap, but it was $30, and people were like, "Yeah, just get started on that one." And I got a programming cable, so I can program it from my computer, not from its own screen, which apparently is terrible trying to do. So I'm excited to reprogram that. I also have this. It's a Morse code oscillator.
Hey, Shannon Morse, that's a fantastic little toy for you to have. Tell me about Morse code.
Yeah, so CW, Morse, it's not necessary anymore for the ham tech license, but I still figured that it's still really useful, and it's also really fun to learn. And it's awesome since Morse requires less bandwidth than voice communication. So if you don't have a lot of bandwidth to work with for some reason, then you could use Morse instead as an alternative. So for me, being this I'm all about getting ready for the zombie apocalypse, so I was like, I'm gonna be so useful on a team one day. I will be that one who's like, oh yeah, I know how to build an antenna. Yes.
Yep, getting in the Hak5 van.
I will be ready.
All the munitions.
Yeah.
So that means that Shannon Morse, we're gonna be playing with CW in Linux, because that's the obvious next step.
Super excited.
You need to learn this, and what better way than to throw in some fun open source tools to.
Yay, hacks!
Yes. So let's get hacking. What are we doing, Shannon?
So I actually found this really cool terminal program recommended by one of the licensees who gave me the test while I was at DerbyCon, and it's called Morse.
Go figure.
So sudo apt-get install Morse if you're on Debian machines. There are a ton of options, so I'll show you a few of those. There you go. Okay, so it's great if you want to learn Morse because there are so many options in here. So you can slow it down, you can speed it up, you can play whatever you type out, which I really like to do. I highly recommend doing that. And let's see.
Like an interactive mode.
Yeah, you can print the dots and dashes. You can also take a test in here, so you can make it send out audio to you so you can hear it, and then you can type in what you think it said, and then it'll give you a little error noise if you get it wrong.
Wow, I'm just like harkened back to like Mavis Teaches Typing or something like
so
that. That's
cool.
fantastic.
So I'll show you an example.
So the fun thing about Linux programs though is it's everything loves standard input and standard output.
Yeah.
Does this mean that I can like tie this in with all my bash scripts now? Because you know how I feel about a bash script, right?
Yeah, definitely. So for example, I could type in echo SOS and then pipe that over to Morse, and when I hit enter, okay, and everybody knows that's SOS in Morse code.
Dits and does. Nice.
Yeah, or I could type in, let's see, SNRBs.
You forgot the R in SNRBs. SNRBs.
One of my favorite things to do with this is type in Morse code TAC-I, TAC-M. And again, as I mentioned before, if you type in something to your keyboard, so I'll do SOS, SOS. So it'll type it out to you, and it'll also show you the dots or dashes, because it's understandable that sometimes Morse can get confusing because the dashes and dots can sound the same. So I love this program. It is so cool, and I figured that we could take this a step further with something that you found as well.
Yeah, actually, I love also the concept that you could like pipe text files to this, and then you could read along and see the dots and dashes and the ASCII text, and that's really cool. So I'm glad that's configurable, because I have a feeling that if we set this up right and we really lower the words per minute, that we may be able to actually get this to communicate, because I have over here a couple of programs that will actually allow me to receive Morse code, right? Which is a little trickier.
Oops, sorry. Plain Morse.
It really is. It's a little bit. This was a bit more difficult than it needs to be, and mainly because things just haven't been kept up to date.
Yeah.
So the first program that I found to receive Morse code in Linux is called rscw, and it seems straightforward, and it's what you would expect. It's receive CW through a sound card, and this is what it would look like if it was running. However, it's not going to, at least on my machine, because I'm running Ubuntu 16.04 by the time this is airing, and it technically does work, but it uses the older Open Sound System API instead of the more common ALSA API, and that's your typical sound for Linux. So thankfully, Shannon, I was able to find a nice alternative that remedies that situation without having to. There's some like padding programs that you can like wrap older OSS sound system kind of programs inside of, but that's way more of a hack than I want to do, especially not when there's XDEMorse available.
XDEMorse.
Check it out. XDEMorse is a GTK app for decoding Morse code applications into text. So basically, getting started with this is really simple. Essentially, what we're going to do is do a little sudo apt-get install XDEMorse, which I already have installed. And once you have that done, you're going to need to go to /usr/share/doc, and you'll see a new directory in there. Whoa, a lot of directories, but one of them that we're interested in is XDEMorse, right? So in here, you'll find that there is an example directory, and we'll want to head over to there. And in that, we will notice that we have an xdemorse.example. In fact, it's typically a zip file, so you'll just have to unzip that. And basically, this is a dot file that's going to live in our home directory. So tilde, as it were. So if I head over, if I do cd, it'll take me to tilde, right, my home working directory. And I've already copied that here. And what we need it to be named as is .xdemorse. So I'm going to nano that, .xdemorserc. And you can see here the author has actually written quite a few things about OSS API and ALSA and all of these other things. And this honestly, this was the thing where like I found this and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one.
Somebody wrote comments, yes.
Somebody understands the pain. So thankfully, this isn't painful anymore. All you have to do is follow along. Basically, all you'll need to do is set your hardware ID. Now, by default, this was set to HW1. It could be HW0. It really depends on your computer. And actually, I've never tested this in the studio, so we'll see if it comes out of the, if it uses the proper microphone, because
Oh,
if I open up sound, it may vary because I have an HDMI display port here. And so is it going to mess with my input? No, it isn't. So it's HW0 in my case, and that's going to grab my microphone. The rest of this configuration is about, the sample rate, 48,000 is great. The actual channel front left is the default, that's great. We're going to do capture. And then the rest of this is really setting up the words per minute. So I could actually come in here and say set this to like 15. And I can actually set all of the other, the initial demodulation and things of that nature. I'm just going to set that to 15. And then additionally, if you have some other devices, you can actually tie this in as if you have like a serial device, typically dev, TTY, USB. The rest of this is for actually transmitting. Like if you have a radio, and I don't, so what's going to be fun is we're just going to use our laptops, as you'll see here. So I'm going to go ahead and save this out and exit. And at this point, really it's just a matter of running XDEMorse, and I'll put an ampersand at the end of there, so it'll just open up. I get this nice little GTK window, and all I have to do is hit receive, and it's going to be like, oh, you don't have a cat, and it's like, yeah, that's okay, I don't actually. And notice that it's typing. Da, da, right?
So if I put in, hold on, I wonder what da da is. Oh, so I type T and it actually is dash.
Well, now I'm getting T's over here. Wait a second. Yeah, you see where this is going. We're not even acoustically coupled, we're just in the room.
Yeah.
And the thing that we notice, I actually have a waterfall over here on the right, so we can actually see the noise in the room that it's picking up. And then our signal input, we can actually take a look at the levels or the ratios. It's pretty cool. I have this set to 15 WPM.
Okay.
So I'm getting just a bunch of stuff, but why don't you try sending me stuff on your side? Oh, look at that. Hang on here. Let me clear the windows so that I'm going to try to be quiet. Go ahead and do that again. Wow.
That is so cool.
That was so cool.
That's awesome.
Right, you just transmitted data from your computer to mine without
just right over your speakers.
Well, what's more, what I really like about that is we didn't use a network.
No.
We didn't use a disk.
Nope.
We were able to potentially even exfiltrate data from this machine.
Oh yeah.
Just using audio, right?
That's freaking
and
cool.
I don't know, I like it. There's something about this, and we didn't need a license to do this either,
right?
Because we're just using audio.
So cool.
Right?
That's really neat. I enjoy that. Well, I'm going to keep on using this Morse program to learn Morse code, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you in Morse next time for the show.
Right?
Not
and
really.
For anybody that wants to try to do something similar to this, the one thing that we did notice in setting this up was that we had to change the frequency, because Shannon's over here.
Yeah.
Shannon's over at my laptop going da 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 da, and nothing's happening. And then she goes da da da.
Well, yeah, I noticed that the Morse program, it was at a higher pitch than our voices. So I noticed that if I say beep beep beep, like it would pick up S as Morse code, but if we did it in the Morse program, it didn't pick it up. So then I went over to Morse, and you'll notice here that I changed the word count per minute to 15 to match his, and then I changed the frequency to 400 because it defaults much higher. I think it defaults at 800. Yeah, it defaults at 800 frequency in hertz. So I just lowered it by about half and then started playing characters, and it picked up each and every character. So you definitely need to play around with it depending on your own setup, because yours might vary a little bit, but that's what we found worked for us.
Wow. You know what I really want to do, just for fun, Shannon?
Just for funsies?
Just for funsies? Okay, so I'm quitting out of this. I'm going to edit that file again, and this time I'm just going to change that 15 to, I don't know, 60, because that sounds like fun. All right, I have mine now set to 60.
Okay, and I just changed mine to 60. Oops, no tilde.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to hit receive.
I don't think it can pick it up.
No. No. You're gonna have to transmit data very slowly.
Yeah, that doesn't work so well.
Still really fun regardless.
Well, I'm gonna change it to like 40.
When we get back, I think that there's some ways that we could transmit some data a little bit more efficiently. But first, we're gonna take a quick break and thank our awesome sponsor. We are very excited that with the help of .club, we are hosting our very first hackathon here at the Hak5 warehouse. And as you guys know, we have been having so much fun doing cool things in Bash, like transmitting Morse code. And you know, I was thinking about it. The land turtle, most of that's actually in Bash. And we love doing social things too. And .club really inspired us to set up something like codebash.club. That's right, we are doing a Halloween-themed open house where we're gonna be breaking out the land turtles, doing a mini seminar, and then a workshop on writing Bash. So we hope that you guys can join us and bring your laptop and help bash out some code at the Hak5 warehouse this Sunday, October 30th from 10 to 4, and you can sign up and RSVP over at codebash.club. And you know what, speaking of .clubs, have I mentioned how perfect of a top-level domain it is? The way I see it, the internet is all about community, and nothing could be more social than a .club. So when you're thinking about starting your next business and naming your next website, consider yourself a .club. There are a plethora, still awesome .clubs available, and you can find them over at domain.com/club. And best of all, you can save 20% when you check out with the coupon code HAK5 at domain.com. So until then, also send a tweet at domain.com and say, hey, thanks for supporting Hak5 all these years, and I hope to see you at the Hak5 warehouse for codebash.club. When you think domain names, think domain.com.
We're back, and it's now time to show you some other easy ways to acoustically transmit data.
Right? I love the whole concept of like exfiltrating data without using networks and without using disks.
Yeah.
Free space optics, you know, audio tones. And in fact, we've touched on this briefly in the past, and I wanted to reiterate this because while we did trust your technolust in Morse code, at 15 words per minute, it was a little slow. I think 110 baud might be what we need.
Jeez.
And let's go ahead and set this up with minimodem. We've talked about that in the past. Why don't you be the receiver?
Okay.
So what you'll need to do is minimodem, like you have there, tac-tac-rx.
And you do have to do sudo apt-get install minimodem. Tac-tac-rx is receiving, rx is short for receive. Tac-tac ascii, and then 110 for the baud rate.
All right. So go ahead and hit enter. I'm going to, over on my machine, do minimodem. Make that a little bigger, tac-tac, transmit ASCII at 110 baud, and I'll say, trust your technolust. So I'm just gonna hold this near your laptop, and when I hit enter, I'm gonna switch to your computer.
Ah.
Right?
That's funny.
Isn't that awesome?
Now, side note on this, he literally had to hold his computer right like on top of my computer.
Well,
for it to hear it right. Because if you don't do that, it errors out. So keep that in mind.
That's also 110 baud, which was even just way slower than what I played Legend of the Red Dragon on as a kid. That was 1200 baud at least.
That was 1200 baud, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I slayed that dragon like twice.
Still much faster than 15 words per minute.
Yeah.
110 being 110. Baud is bytes per... Aha! Baud, symbols per second, because it's how many times the signal changes, and we're doing 110 changes per second, and we're doing ASCII, which is 8 bits for each character, so there you go.
Okay, cool.
Yay! Anyway, fun stuff. Let us know what you guys think, feedback at hak5.org, and you can also send us cool things over to the warehouse. I know that we just received one here, care package recently, right?
We did, yes. This is such a cool care package. So when I went to Japan in May, I got to go karaokeing. And the only reason I was able to go is because one of the guys that showed up at the meetup, his name is El Kentaro, he brought us out to this awesome Japanese karaoke bar. And it was the most amazing thing. It was a great experience. But he sent us a care package from this guy in Tokyo. That's the only reason I knew it was him.
Right.
So he sent us, first off, I wanted to point this out. So I was like, oh, he looks like a pineapple because he's got the little thingies on his head. I had to look this guy up. It's from Kamen Rider Gaim Henshin. And he apparently like fights bad guys. And he has this attack called Finisher Pineapple Arms.
What?
And it's weird, but amazing. So he's carrying a pineapple and like destroying this guy with it.
Oh, man.
It's like such a troll.
I love this in so many ways.
It's amazing. I love Japan so much.
Why do I not have a pineapple suit of armor? Thank you. We're gonna have to find the perfect spot for this
yes,
a little later on.
Little pineapple man.
Yes.
So we also got AV Tokyo stickers, so we'll put these ones on the set. I believe AV Tokyo is a HackerCon in Tokyo, so you know, if anybody knows the people that run this, hook me up because girl's got to get her butt back to Japan. Just saying.
Right.
No drink, no hack.
No drink, no hack. Well, that is going on the set. Thank you so much. I love stickering up the set.
And he sent me some reading material, which I can read this. Not really, but I can try.
Oh, hey, the Laughing Man.
Yeah, the Laughing Man. So we'll put one of his on the set. And then he
Nice.
also sent Sailor Moon crystal stickers because I love Sailor Moon and Pokemon. They're so adorable.
They are adorable.
Yeah, domo arigatou gozaimasu. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Alcantaro. And if you guys want to send stickers, our address is over at hak5.org/address. And you can send stickers there anywhere in the world for all your hacker clubs. And we love to promote other people's clubs because we love you guys.
Hey.
So thank you.
You know what? As you were mentioning the Pokemon, it occurred to me that people should go and check out the Snubs report because Shannon just did a recent vlog on Pokemon Go. You should find out more at Shannon's channel.
It's true.
Yeah, in fact, if you're at hak5.org or if you're at youtube.com/hak5, just scroll to the very bottom and you'll see it. Awesome little playlist of good stuff.
Aw.
Yes.
Thanks for throwing that out there.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys have recommendations for ham radio goodies, definitely tell me about them because I'm super excited to learn everything that has to do with ham, doing the amateur radio operation and everything. I think it's a really, really cool thing, and there's not a lot of young people doing it. So I'm very excited to get into this.
All right, sounds awesome. I can't wait to see your feedback. With that, hak5.org is where you can find all of the links to their social media and what we've got going on. And when you get to your social media, you're going to want to tweet with, or Faceblurg or Instagram with the hashtag HAK5. Why is that, Shannon? Why do I want to use that hashtag?
Because every single week we are asking you guys what tickles your technolust. You can tweet us, Instagram, or Faceblurg us with the hashtag Hak5 for your chance to win some awesome gear from the Hack Shop. So
somebody is getting a
Wi-Fi
Pineapple Nano.
Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano.
Fantastic.
So
who is getting the Nano?
I think Mike, at Mike Gowley, deserves a Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano.
Oh,
See, he did this awesome build. He said, my Hak5 Technolust work in progress is a virtual pinball machine. And yes, it has a Microsoft Sidewinder, which is a keyboard for nudge control. That is so cool.
Wow.
Look at that brilliant piece of work.
Wicked. I love some pin.
Yeah,
that's
just
amazing.
So much fun.
So
So Mike, I'm going to get in contact with you to get your address, and we'll send
the
you.
book.
Yeah, we'll send him a book too. Why not?
Awesome. Hey, if you would like to get your very own set of awesome Hak5 equipment, you can find all of it, the Wi-Fi Pineapple, the Land Turtle, the USB rubber ducky, the book, all the other really cool stuff that we do here, hakshop.com, and that's how you can support us directly. And thank you to everybody who has for the many years, and it is just a blessing to be here doing this.
Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. hak5.org is where you can find out all the events that are coming up that we are involved in, as well as any trainings or
yeah, lots of great workshops and stuff. Are you in Austria? Check it out.
Yeah.
hak5.org. And we will see you on the internet. No, that's the other one.
That's my ThreatWire one, dude.
Right? I don't remember how to podcast. But I do remember my name, which is Darren Kitchen.
And my name's Shannon Morse. Trust your technolust.
Thank you, Shannon.
No problem.
The studio's been falling apart.
The studio is falling apart today.
We're getting a new studio.
I'm going to burn this studio to
I
the
will
ground.
pull this podcast over.
I will pull this podcast over.
I'm going to turn this podcast around.
I'm driving this studio.
That's the thing. She thinks she's driving. No, she's driving. She's
Really?
driving.
You want to go there?
She's the one driving.